Hi Collective, welcome to my channel. I'm Crystal, a cosmic divine psychic medium here, delivering messages to you from the higher realms. So welcome in everybody. So this is going to be part 3, which doesn't really matter when you catch this. All my readings are timeless, but I'm going to let you know about the energies I'm connecting with and the frequency. Okay, so 329, okay, is the frequency of today. I'm tired, so, but I wanted to get these messages out because the downloads did come in today. And then it's like, if I don't give them, they're going to roll over till tomorrow. And then it's like, they don't stop until I give the messages. So a lot of times I'll roll into the next downloads. And then if I miss something, I don't know. I don't know why I'm feeling to explain that. Maybe for some of you that are starting to answer the call and getting into like certain things that you feel you have to do, it doesn't stop. If you have a message you're meant to give out, especially if you're a divine messenger, like you have to give it, right? So anyways, but I'm a divine messenger of the universe. Like that'll keep coming up too, and then it'll remind me like, okay, I gotta get this message. Anyway, so take that with what you would. Anything I feel to explain if I was for a reason, it helps somebody. If it's not for you, leave it. So right away they guided me to Project Bluebeam. Okay, so yeah, which I recently found out about. So I mean, I've always known it and I've heard of like the conspiracies a little bit. I didn't know there was like a whole name for it, you know, and it makes sense. But I know that lately I've been getting a lot of Truman Show type of things. And one day it was really coming at me. I was thinking a lot about it, and then it appeared on TV. And I remember when I was a kid watching that, right? And they were bringing me to, like, I kept seeing in my mind's eye, too, when it was coming up about when the moon falls or whatever, their little props and the things start to fall apart. Like, I've been getting that recently with, like, the glitches that have been coming out. And it was interesting is, so somebody was talking about Project Bluebeam, and, you know, what if everything really is, like, man-made, right? Like they have us conditioned, we're really not fully seeing things as they were, right? Because they fully don't want us to have access to the stars, the moons, like things are like altered and shifted, right? I hope I'm explaining this for real, but it's part of the brainwashing to be able to have mouse control and things like that. Because it's just, to me, it's too interesting, like how things play out. Like they work so hard to hide everything, right? All the UFOs and aliens and all that, right? But then it's like they knew they could only hold it back for so long. So then of course once all the social media platforms and things like that arise, then we could find ways to communicate, right? Just like how they flagged one of my videos and it's like they paused it, they pulled it off, but then they put a little thing on there, fictional character. It was like, why didn't they just pull it down? Why did they have to attach a thing on there? Because it's like they want us to spread and filter certain things because we're helping them oppose the fear frequency, right? But it's like if you're in fear and you're worried, there's control, right? Because it's all about like smoke and mirrors, what they're really showing us, what they're not. You know what I mean? Like this is but a simulation, some would say, right? Part of being controlled, because we're so powerful. We're able to create our realities, right? But not if we're conditioned and controlled. Like that's what I mean. This new age belief system or whatever that they're trying to pose, the new age religion and all of that. Really, we're here teaching everybody as light workers and starseeds to be your own authentic self. We're not pushing ideologies and different religions and all of that. We're telling you to be open. We're telling you that it's time to break out of the matrix. And I always say stop going off of what you were told. Think new thoughts. We were never supposed to be. That's what I mean. That's like this is a matrix and the zombie apocalypse. Like it's already ongoing. Look around at everybody on their phones. Do you not see everybody repeating these cycles, being robotic, doing the 9 to 5, coming home, feeding the cat, feeding the dog, then getting into your show, getting into like, and I'm not saying don't feed your animals, obviously. I'm just like the routine, like, okay, that was a bad example. I don't know why I went there. Okay, what I'm getting at is like, if you're in a cycle, you're doing the same thing repetitively, like clockwork, especially like, that's like the biggest illusion of all, like the time and the clock and being on a schedule, and time is but an illusion, right? Okay, this one's getting really wild. But it's like, a lot of them, like, you were never supposed to just be in your mind. That's where they control us, in our mind, through our thoughts. You're taught something. Now, do what you're taught. Only think about what you are taught. Only watch, or only think what you're being shown. The news, the shows, the entertainment. They're keeping you in this box of what's going on, where you're not able to think new thoughts. You're not able to relax. These towers, all this stuff going up everywhere. Like, you need to disconnect from the system, from the matrix, and get away from it, and go outdoors and get to where it's quiet and think and be free, and let new thoughts and knowledge come in, and actually be feeling your own energy and thinking new thoughts. Not thinking, but then you've had to fully disconnect and let go of fear, and let go of the future, and let go of the past, and because they're constantly bringing up the past. Look at what the platforms do, constantly memories and bringing things up and constantly pulling you back. So you're thinking about the past, or you're thinking about the future, or you're thinking about all of these things to like further you. And then not to mention all the material things that you buy, and then the upgrades and all of that. Where's everybody just creating their own stuff, right? That's what I mean. All those blockages, everything. Oh my gosh. Everybody's just really, like, sometimes I tell my kids, I'm like, if you ever wondered like how they make everything, if you ever thought about how is everything really made? I feel like I need to say this a little bit more. Like, half of the stuff that we have here, let's say in the U.S. where I'm at, it comes from other countries, right? It's all outsourced. It's all, you know what I mean? Like, not all of it, but a lot of it is, And just like when you acquire things, how do you want them? You think about what you want, so you go to a store and you find it, or you go online now and you order it, whatever, and it comes to you or whatever. But I'm like, if you ever thought about just every single thing that's created and made, right? And just like, they're like, well, they're made in plants and factories and things like that. I'm like, yeah, but every single item, every single thing, it's like, normally if you think it, you can create it, you can find it. When you want something, you think about, so now all of a sudden you got a location in the store, doesn't it? When you want to find something, you can go to the store and find the exact same thing, or whatever. A lot of times you get it, you buy it, whatever, but it comes from a different country to play. You know what I mean? But I was just like, haven't you ever wondered, like, is there just like land just of factories, like all the stuff we get from other countries, there just must be like factories just everywhere, always creating all these different things. If you really just ever looked at all of that, right? And how immediate and how fast it is that you're able to acquire anything and everything. It's like it's always created. Have you ever just thought about all of that for a minute? When you know that everything that created, everything is in fact energy. Everything is create, Because literally, this is but a simulation. Things are being created as you go. What if I was to tell you that you can really only see as far as your eyes can see? That's all that's real. Everything else, as you move, you're creating. The people that you're connecting with, you're co-creating that with. And it's constantly being created around you. You know what I mean? You really have to know that everything that you know, you were taught, you were told. Right? They wanted you have to really just You really have to open up your mind and stop thinking that you know everything, especially when all the people that have been in charge in this world, all the elites and everything, look at all of them falling or whatever. Obviously, they don't have your best interest anymore. So why? What if everything, is not really real? It's just real because you think it's real, because you create it. When you start to notice all the glitches and everything starting to happen, why is everything starting to glitch out? Why is everything... That's what I mean. You really have to be open to discovery at this time. That's what I mean. A lot of crazy stuff's coming in. What I'm getting at with Project Bluebeam, whatever, for those of you that don't know about it, from my understanding is it's where the government and NASA are teaming up together to try to play out, for mass control purposes, the Bible, the end times, right? They're tying them into a lot of these things, but there can be all sorts of control with projections and you know what I mean? Like, there's just too much stuff that's trying to put in alignment, I feel, and scare everybody of playing out the end times, right? And that's why I've always said that, like, they've weaponized religion, right? The real saving, the real end of times is not correct, right? They don't talk about the mass awakenings. I mean, the second coming of Christ is Christ consciousness, of knowing you are one with God, divine source, the creator, and realizing that, and us coming together and creating the new earth, right? Which is all it's the separation. That's why a lot of people can't fathom and understand that, the separation, right? Because it's like literally we're separating the dark energy from light. We're able to create every single thing that we have here, but in the new earth. And some people don't understand, it means it's just going to be all like land. It's not going to be any of this stuff. It's going to be it's hard for me to explain everything, but it's like, because I don't, to try to explain it to levels, to keep it where I don't lose everybody. You just got to let go of fear, right? There's a lot of stuff that's going to be getting projected, that's going to be shown. Fear is the old frequency, the old paradigm, the old earth. So just let go of fear. Be open to discovery, getting wow, knowing that everything and anything could be fake. It could be a fake sun, fake moon, fake stars, right? Because they could literally have us encapsulated and domed where we're fully not seeing everything, like the Truman Show, right? So, yeah, okay, they guided me right there. So you got to be careful, because they are flipping a lot. And just like I said, like, they're weaponizing a lot of things. And just think about it, just like the movies, just like how they can make these space movies, right? It seems very real when you're in the movie, right? How do you know what they're really showing us, what's real with space and everything? What if that's not really it, right? When you start to realize that, like, everything that could have been taught and shown to you in school, the media, how the world really works, could really be flawed and wrong. That's why you really need to just sit with yourself, right? And go out in nature and see what you see. And the universe starts revealing its secrets to those who go looking for it. And that's why they keep us so busy and trapped, not wanting us to fully see these things, right? Because they don't want you to find out about the secrets and what they're hiding and what's real. They want you to be conditioned. They want you to be eating the foods with the chemicals and not the natural fruits and vegetables that are encoded with sacred geometry within them that matches your body and what your body needs, I've always wondered that. Why are we able to just create food and all of this stuff and eat it, right? When our bodies should be eating what's natural. I've just always known that. It never made sense to me. Or how people can go eat all this fast food, right? And, like, how can your body grow and live? And if you're not, like, these people that just eat fast food, like, every day. And, like, I've just always wondered, like, how are your body growing? How is it nourished? How is it, that's why there's so many illnesses and things like that. Think about, right? Knowing that fluoride is not good for you. And it's interesting, my beautiful soul family member was talking about in his reading today that he said, do you remember in school when they used to give you fluoride treatments in the mouth? And I was like, oh my God, like I remember that. I remember in the classrooms when they were pouring it in the cup and having us like, oh, you're learning how to use mouthwash. Like, oh my God. To the shots, like, do you remember like the shots that they give you? Like, oh my gosh, all this stuff. Anyway, yeah, there's so much stuff. Okay, it didn't make sense to me. And what's interesting is I caught that reading, right, and I was getting the Truman thing right after I was sitting in this reading, where because I like to pay attention to what's going out there, right, trending stuff. And it was a revelation where it was talking about the creation, and it was like they were talking about how on the fourth day that God created the sun and the moon, right? But it's like vegetation it was talking about like how were those created after vegetation? How are the plants getting their water, right? After, if the sun and the moon weren't there. And or I'm mixing up how I was saying it, but it was like, because we didn't have clouds and the rain, but the plants and vegetation were getting the water from the rivers or something like that. So it was like, it didn't make sense. Somebody was trying to explain it in this, how it makes sense, but how it wasn't like needed, but it was made differently. And if you think about it, like, the moon is like a satellite, you know, have you heard that the moon's like a satellite? It has to do with the ebb and the flow. And the moon, they were referencing that to, I think, Jerusalem or something, but the moon's always like that feminine energy. The sun's always the masculine energy, right? I don't know. It just really got me thinking about that, right? And about talking about how the creation of is it. But then it's in that Bible that they want us to follow, right? Where that's the magics and the workings of the universe, right? But what if it's just all been all of this master plan of control, right? And I've never understood just like I celebrate all the holidays and the fun stuff for my children and all of that, but I don't know the true meaning behind all of it, right? It's like St. Patrick's Day or whatever, too. It's all about like elementals and leprechauns and magic and fun, rainbows and all of that, right? But I never really celebrated for like the Irish attributes or whatever. So just like with Easter, right? Finding out like the resurrection or whatever. So like I get that, right? But then, like my boyfriend was talking about like mass and if we were going to go and do the, because he's very religious and I'm very spiritual, and IQ's asking me if I was going to go and do something with the C, communion or whatever. And I was like, oh, is that where like you eat the cracker or whatever, or the wafer for the body and drink the wine for the, like, hell no. I was like, he's looking at me like, what? Like, because that's it in his mind, that's what you do. Like, no. Like, you don't realize, I've just always known that was wrong, because yeah, I get it, sacrifice for the sins or whatever. Well, for one, he was the starseed and light worker, letting us know that we are one with the Creator. So, you know, he was murdered, right, for light working and letting us, you know, spreading what, you know, all of us light workers and archangels are here doing now. So why would I want to eat the body? You don't realize that's like sacrificial type of stuff. And then going and it was never supposed to be worshiping the body and the blood and all of that. Like, you don't realize that's getting you into like a cult because they've weaponized it. I shared something today too. Then this came across my feed right after. See, it's crazy how all this, like, I was just thinking about this, right? And then I was in something, and then he had brought that up, and it's just, it's crazy how interconnected things are. And a lot of times it's because Divine's trying to get me to put a message out there. So, see, listen. Christians say not to practice witchcraft or astrology, but celebrate the resurrection of a dead guy on a Sunday after the first full moon of equinox. And then they drink wine and bread as his blood and his body, and enchant over the animal sacrifices before they feast. Like, seriously, like, people need to wake up, right? See, and I put a little bit. Like, it's like a satanic ritual. Like, you don't realize that they've weaponized some of it, right? Oh, there was a different one that I was trying to find, but I'll stay on it. Where it was like, he was here awakening us, spreading the knowledge. Like, Jesus did not want to be worshipped himself. He was trying to. They have flipped it and turned it into something dark, right? And people look at him as he sacrificed himself. He was murdered. Right? Like, I've never understood why people go around wearing the crosses and doing the blood and marking themselves with the blood. Like, oh my God, like, you don't realize that? Okay, I'm gonna get upset. I'm gonna quit. Right? It's just, I get it. Like, it's hard because, like, we know that there's higher power source, divine creator, right? But you are one with divine God source. You are never separate. And that's why you don't pray away and you don't separate yourself and you don't get into these worshiping and, you know what I mean? That's where you give your power away. That's where you separate yourself. And that's where they have, you know, just because you were taught it in a book, just like, it was altered, it was changed, right? People don't understand that. They just think, oh no. All right, I'm going to stop. Okay, be open to discovery. You know, start paying attention. People just don't even understand, too, the enchantments. A lot of things are being spell work. You don't realize what you're saying to the frequency of music, to elites, to the mass control, right? And the corruptness in this world that is falling. A lot of them are the ones that are in charge of all of this and people in high positions and places. So yeah, there are a lot of I really just you just gotta let go of fear. Be open to discovery. Go off of what you feel, not what you're being told. Let this ascension happen. Because whether or not it's being altered or whatever, we are in the reset. Earth is being reset. I feel the energy that's coming in that they're trying to block out. They're trying to smoke and mirrors and other things. They're trying to roll out mass amounts of fear right now to stop everybody from ascending, because that's what stops you, is the fear. And that's why they impose fear. And that's right away too why I knew that, yeah, God, divine source, like I get divine messages from God, divine source, and spiritual team. They've always been with me ever since I was a little girl. I didn't need to go to church to hear them. I didn't, you know, I've just, I always knew I feel that's why I was kept away from the church and kept away from the Bible, right? Which they're bringing me to certain things now, which makes sense, right? But that's why, because I always knew that they weaponized it, right? So, what I'm getting at is that this is the reset, right? And I know that they put a lot of stuff in there too, false prophets and all of that, and because they knew that this time was coming for the reset, right? So, but anyway, what I'm getting at is that I knew that what was wrong is that you were never supposed to be in fear. Like, if you truly believe in God, divine source, the creator's got you and protecting you, then how can you have fear? So why would there be fear in the Bible about the end of times? Why would there be hell in there and fearing and all of that? This never made sense to me. Just like the news never makes sense to me. They push so much religion and so much about the Bible and and push all this fear and shut the news off. My God. Oh. get away from all the fear, all of the dark stuff, and just vibrational, happy, love, and light. As well as 144,000 are here doing, we're reclaiming our power, stepping to our positions of power. We are leading all of you, right? Whoever's high vibrational and wants to get out of this fear structure and matrix and the old paradigm, the old cycles, and we're ascending out of here. So know that this is your rescue. It's here, but ultimately you rescue yourself just by being open to discovery and ascending at this time. Because even getting in alignment with my reading, certain activations come through. I'm popping with yellow. It's activating your solar plexus, whatever colors feel for, whatever cards they have used. A lot of times there's different cards that have sacred geometry on them, which can activate you. There's so many different hidden things that it's like we've been using how to use the matrix against them for mass awakenings and ascensions, right? And I know that just like I get restricted in things, and my videos have been blocked, and I know I was shadow banned for a while, and just different things, right? Because, you know, I flagged them pretty early on with what I was doing and saying. Then I learned, like, oh, because it straight up tell me, like, you were, like, you can't say things like that. You can't do, I was like, oh, okay. But whatever. It's not going to stop me from, I mean, I have to filter what I say, but anyway, I'm going to stop there. I feel I've disclosed enough in this one. Watch whatever you feel guided to, though. Oh, I was going to say that. Wow, I barely got into my channel messages, too. I just thought about that because I got off on tangents. But yeah, my platforms for Lightworkers, Earth Angel, Starseeds, right? And to awaken things within you to really get you to go after your passions and things. Yeah, I was getting a lot. Yeah, maybe that's why. Because a lot of the stuff that I was writing down, like, I feel if I explain it, it's going to impose fear. And it's not really. Because it was me starting to get all... Why am I hearing propaganda? But they wanted me to... I was starting to investigate the solar eclipse. And then it's like... Then they were wanting me to get into the... Or they wanted me to see what was going on in the collective, and then they were guiding me to the blue beam project, right? And then it was tying me back to like the book of Revelations and what's going on, to all the alien sightings and the UFOs and all of that. You know what I mean? And there's so many different ways I could go with all of this stuff. I'm gonna have to put together a few off of this, because the biggest thing is they don't want you to impose fear, but all this mass control, right? Just like people don't realize, like, the mark of the beast, right? You've heard of that, right? And then I was watching this thing today where a chip in the hand in some countries, where they're starting to do like the chip in the hand or in the wrist or whatever for scanning purposes, right? But what you guys don't realize is that anytime, like, you're using a phone, you know, there's crystals inside the phone, right? Inside these phones. And they connect with you, especially with nanos that they have injected, that they have put in the clouds and in all of that, which you're consuming. That there's different ways, right? It's connecting with you. There are different devices and your electronics are. So, something to think about. And when that's going on, it's blocking your third eye. It's blocking your chakra systems. That's why you got to get away from electronic devices. And that's going to be revealing a lot. That was a channel message that I got for someone maybe you didn't know that. All right, I'm going to stop there. There's lots of things, right? But the high frequency energy that's coming through is disabling a lot of what they were doing, right? But it's like you just got to let go of it and you got to stop using it, right? Can course correct at any time, so don't think like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you have to stop letting them use you, right? I'm gonna stop there. There's so much more that's going through. I'm gonna have to do some more readings though. 29:19 on the clock as I say that. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. Catch me tomorrow. What is tomorrow? The 30th. Yeah. Well, it already is actually 3:30. So, because wow, it's almost 2 a.m. when I'm doing this now. I forgot. I had a lot going on tonight, but anyway, love and light to all of you. Bye.